Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the Law Show. This is your host, Jackie Bridges, here at Stu Radio. Along sitting beside me are my colleagues. To my left, I got Sigmund Sanders. To my right, I got my partner in crime, Sean Reed. I got my buddy Ice B on the engineering tonight.
It's true.
As you can tell, hey, we're the Lost Boys, man. I also got some special guests, other special guests in the house tonight here at the zoo. Uh, Again, we'd like to welcome you to the Lost Show. LOST stands for Legends of Sports Talk. Over 30 years of talking and playing sports. Now we're bringing it to you, the people, here in the Metroplex and on the air, here at Stu Radio, with the support and love of my buddy Michael Kelly, Stu Radio himself, and everybody else here at the Zoo family. Hey man, I've been pretty exciting, guys, and I'm gonna get right to it, man. We had Miss Ronda Rousey uh, go at it last night. I'm gonna start out with that because that's the hottest ticket on the air right now. Hey man, this girl is the still undisputed, champion of the UFC women's fighting here. She whooped this now again. You guys help me now. She comes in here and she TKOs this girl in 34 seconds, and I mean that's some of that Mike Tyson stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That's some of that. Hey, in her last three fights, a combined total of 64 seconds. Those three fights have lasted against this girl. Hey man, do we start mentioning Ronda Rousey as one of the best women's, obviously, to come through UFC? Sig, I'm gonna get right into it, man. With you, what's kind of your take on Ronda Rousey, man? She's drawing a lot of attention.
Jack, with Ronda, I respect her game. She's a champion, but man, the sample size just ain't big enough for me yet. 12 professional fights. She's 12-0. Had nine, decisions by submission and 3 knockouts. It's impressive, but 135-pound bantamweight, man, she hadn't fought really a lot of people yet. They're just trying to piece fights together for her. It's watered down. There's probably 50 girls maybe total fighting in the UFC right now. And, everybody she's fighting is undefeated. So that tells me right there they're really not fighting a lot of quality opponents.
Right.
When you have that many undefeated people. Every one of her fights seems like she's fighting somebody that's undefeated like she is. But, again, it's impressive. But to say that she's one of the best ever right now, I'm going to tap the brakes on that a little bit and just kind of let it happen, At least get to 20 fights before we start to mention you as one of the best ever. It's still impressive what she's doing because she's winning in dramatic fashion. She's dominating.
Right.
Right. This last fight last night wasn't even a submission. She just, hit the girl with a devastating body blow with the knee, and she couldn't recover from that. And then it was just, barrage of punches. That's what finished the fight. So she's getting impressive with her, her hands also, to go along with her tremendous ground game, with the arm bar, 4th degree judo black belt. Hell, she's dominating just on that alone.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm impressed with Ronda Rousey and what she's doing in her young career. But I'm gonna come over to you, Reed. Hey, man, the way this girl is dominating, beating people, man. You're an expert in boxing, and obviously this UFC is some martial arts and all that kind of stuff, some street fight. You can name it all, I guess, with the UFC stuff. What is your take on what you're seeing out of Ronda Rousey right now?
I'm extremely impressed. We don't realize how good we have it right now to see a fighter of her caliber. You mentioned Mike Tyson. She's definitely in that mode. Don't go to the fridge. Don't blink. Don't look away. You remember them Tyson fights back in the day? Michael Spinks, 90 seconds. This guy, 35 seconds, 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
She's in that realm. But I kind of disagree with Sig in the sense that she's fighting good girls. Unlike Sig's homeboy, Floyd Mayweather,
I knew. I was just
Ronda's
gonna
not
say.
Ronda's not
Trying to
picking and
start it
choosing.
early.
Ronda's like stack them up, and I'm gonna knock their ass down. This chick that she fought, Betch Correa,
Mm-hmm.
was talking. She was undefeated. Was talking Mad shit.
Mad cash. She was talking mad cash.
Rousey's dad committed suicide. This chick said, "I hope you don't commit suicide after I beat you."
Oh, that's personal.
Like she was, she went there.
But the girl didn't know her father had committed suicide. In her
That's
defense.
what she said. That's what she said. But knowing the fight game, she knows, everything about the chick that's on top or the person. Like every dude knows about Floyd inside and out. So everybody know Floyd's mama shot his daddy when he had Floyd in his hands. That's how crazy their family was. Every dude that's gonna fight Floyd, they know all that.
Right.
So this chick knew Ronda that intimately and still went there. And still got her ass whipped. Got hit in the temple, ear area, and she fell face
like
first.
a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, like she got shot. Like a tree, like a tree got chopped. Timber.
Wait a minute.
That's how she feel.
I did have to laugh when she fell and she still had her guards up like she was fighting. And she just,
That's just it. That's instinct.
Can I say one thing, man?
Sure.
I just want to say that, you know what? I agree a lot with Sig. I mean, she's good, but you have to show me more. I tell you what, besides maybe her past opponents and maybe who she just fought, can anybody on this panel name a couple of other female UFC fighters? I mean, UFC just kind of...
Well, the only one they keep talking about with her is Cyborg.
It's Cyborg.
But she's not in her
Cyborg.
weight class.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest. I'm not, I'm going to defend Ronda on this one.
Steroids.
I mean, that girl's roided up, man. She looks like
She looks like a dude.
She looks
So for her to even mention fighting her, but then everybody, if you get on Facebook and look at all the posts, they're saying Ronda can beat Floyd Mayweather.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
which is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's
I
ridiculous.
mean, they take it too far. So if
That's
you're going to fight
ridiculous.
Floyd, you can fight Cyborg.
Definitely.
Well, and she did say, Ronda did say, hey, she said last night, like Reese said, she's not running from anybody by any means. She's definitely taking all challenges that they throw at her way. And like she said about this Santos that you guys are talking about, she said, hey, drop the steroids, make the weight, I'll fight you. And I believe she will. Go ahead, Reed.
I just want to say the most impressive thing about Ronda is her pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Many people don't know her mother was the first person ever in American ever to win the world championships in judo.
Mm-hmm.
And then 20, 30 years later, Ronda became the first person ever to go to the Olympics and win a medal in judo. So she has a pedigree. She's not just some tough chick that walked off the streets. She's been practicing. I mean, her mother would wake her up putting arm bars on her. Like, she's been learning how to defend that. Her mother's hardcore, dude.
Yeah. Since she was 10 years old.
People think Ronda
That's what she's
Rousey
been
is kind of out there. No, her mother is certified crazy. But that's what makes Ronda the fighter she is. And as a father, I got all daughters, 3 kids, all girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have a positive role model who's yet real. She's flawed. She ain't perfect. But, as a dad of all girls, you can point to a chick and be like, hey, that's a strong woman right there.
Agree.
And she's controlling her own life. So, big fan.
She reminds me of $1 Million Baby. Y'all seen that movie
Oh, yeah.
$1 Million
Oh, yeah.
Baby? You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? She's
Yes,
flying
sir.
through the competition.
Good
And,
comparison.
and I just want to see her fight a little bit more. I mean, maybe it's because I personally need to do a little bit more research on female UFC fighters. You know what I'm saying? But I think she does need to do just a little bit more to impress.
Cyborg needs to happen because now, after last night, she's to the point where they're recycling girls. She's already beat.
That's
So-
already beat.
Right.
So now I agree with Sig in that point. The talent pool isn't deep necessarily. Fight Cyborg, then recycle, and then fight Cyborg again if that's the case. But
And I think people also want to see, the mark of a true champion is when you get tested.
Right.
When you feel some adversity in the ring, how do you respond then?
Sure.
Like Mike Tyson always says, everybody's got a plan till they get hit in the mouth.
So they get hit. Right?
And she ain't been hit in the mouth yet.
Nope.
So let's see how she reacts when somebody brings it to her. So,
I can't lie. This was with all the first rounders that she done got rid of female. I think this was the one that kind of, because she was hitting Ronda Rousey. I don't usually see Ronda
girl wasn't
Rousey.
scared of her.
Yeah,
at
at
all.
all.
Correa came to fight.
So, I mean, but again, just a little bit more. A good win, though. Very good fight. Very entertaining. 30-some-odd
34
seconds.
seconds.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? But,
and one thing that I'm liking about that too, with all the Ronda Rousey hype, is that she's already put out there as well. Like you say, she's obviously going to be doing some recycling as far as who she may fight next. but they're talking about, she wants to be on that Aldo McGregor card. That's actually
Yes.
going to be at Cowboy Stadium.
That'd be
So
huge.
so that would be nice.
They'll
to
sell Cowboy
get,
Stadium out.
yeah,
for that.
she's actually done came out and said she would like to be a part of that card. So I can definitely see that happen. If Jerry got anything to do with Ronda Rousey, he's all about hype. So whatever he can do to get him to come here.
Let me ask y'all this: is it like boxing? Do they need because that fight is supposed to be coming up here pretty soon, right? The Gregor fight.
No, I'm not sure exactly when the date is on that.
Gregor
We'll
fought
have to
like
look that up. and check
early,
it out.
middle of July
Right, that's
because
what-
Aldo pulled out. So
So
they
basically
won't
what
fight again until maybe January is what I'm hearing.
and that's what I was trying to get
Okay,
to. Is
yeah.
there like a link that they have to go through before they next fight, or is she really like line them up and I'm gonna knock these down? However
She doesn't pick her opponents. I know that. They say, hey, what about this chick? Okay, yeah, fine.
All right. So, but it don't matter the time in between matches though.
From a commission standpoint, like you have to sit out at least 30 days. I know from being a matchmaker in Texas, like if you get knocked out, you can be on as much as a 90-day suspension.
Okay.
Like, hey, you can't fight nobody nowhere
They
in the
want you to
United
go
States.
through that battery of testing,
90 days.
and all that, and make sure you're
So-
ready.
It'll be Ronda only fights in the UFC. She's only fought 2 opponents a year. She's still on that. She's still on schedule to do that. McGregor, he may go 3 a year. So, I mean, they're on their normal course.
Well, she's coming out saying that she would love to be a part of that card. So that would be interesting to see if they can all get that contract worked out and possibly now. Obviously, she'll be fighting Tate for the 3rd time.
Right.
But you let Ronda tell it'd be 3 knockouts for her. So
It will
3
be.
wins,
It will be.
basically for her. But I think Jerry would definitely jump on that hype because he loved bringing that money to Texas
believe it.
and bringing it to Jerry's world. So, but no, like Ice B said, I have to piggyback on that. It was a great 34 seconds. It was great. 34
seconds of my life.
It was the best 34 seconds last night. But hey, Ronda put on the show, man. She did what she was supposed to do. She came there and handled her business, and for someone who was talking a lot of smack like old girl was, I mean, obviously, Ronda shut that up pretty quick. So
Did she crap her pants? Is that little picture that's going on the internet? Is that real or what?
I
Did she
didn't-
hit
I
her
was-
so hard that she crap her
that's
pants?
Photoshop, man.
Okay, and tell me something.
And when fighters talk crap to each other, they just trying to sell the fight.
Right.
They got to sell the fight.
right.
They can't just sit up there at a press conference and not say nothing. They want to get people to pay for the fight.
It is better to talk shit
Yes.
than to just sit back and be a gentleman
Yes,
and
they're fighters.
shake hands and
Yeah.
we want to fans. We want at least the illusion that y'all hate each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that y'all are besties and after y'all fight, then y'all gonna go out and have dinner and shit
Right.
out. I don't want to.
And to piggyback on what
I
Reed
wanna
just
think y'all
said,
hate each other.
guess who's staying in Brazil another week on vacation?
Ronda.
Ronda Rousey. Guess who she's going to hang out and have dinner with? The woman she
Correll
just beat.
Oh,
I just heard it. I just heard it.
Hey man, well hey.
That's real, man. Respect.
Maybe there was because you done talked about the woman, daddy, you know what I'm saying? And all
Right,
this.
right. Like, okay, you went too far, dude.
No, fellas,
let me tell
hold
you-
up. She didn't talk about her daddy. It just so happened that her daddy committed suicide. The lady did apologize and say, hey, I didn't know that at the time. So she, she amended herself for that. So we got to give her credit for that. Whether we want to believe it or not, she did say she didn't know and she
on, Sid.
apologized. I mean,
We know things about each other's family that we damn sure won't disclose over the air. But
yeah, but I mean, the lady apologized. So I mean, what can we say?
Now, on that note,
What can we
boy,
say?
On that note, them Mayweather debates be getting a little tense.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all might do a little personal jab.
No, man, we again, shouts out to Ronda and her continued success and her winning streak. Hopefully she can keep it going, keep doing what she's doing. Hey man, but we gonna shoot on over. And I'm gonna jump over to the NFL a little bit, man, and we gonna jump right into that Tom Brady situation, that Deflategate ball hole issue that we've been hearing about for months. Brady appeals, loses the appeal. Basically, Roger Goodell comes out and said no. Brady's pissed now, so he's taking it a little step further, now taking it to court. Brady obviously he didn't want any games. Brady is now coming out saying that the NFL didn't offer him no kind of counter, nothing. Basically, Goodell told him no, and that's what that was. Me personally, I'm a little tired of hearing about it. The deflate thing, obviously, it was some cheating going on. Obviously, you did something wrong, Tom. What gets me in that whole situation is that Tom did not relinquish that phone. And because I think honestly and truly, had he came out when all this stuff first came out and said, he made a mistake, blah blah blah, I think we probably could have watched this thing away. I think we probably could have watched this thing away. But the fact that he didn't do that, and then later down the line, man, comes out he destroys the damn phone. It just it's a lot of guiltiness there. So it just doesn't look good. I guess I'll just get you guys input on it. Reed, I mean, I'll come to you first. What are you saying right now with the Tom Brady issue, man?
I'm gonna give it to you like this. On or slightly before March 6th, the NFL talked to Tom Brady and asked for access to his phone. It wasn't until June 18th, so March 6th, April 6th, May 6th, June 6th, then June 18th. That's when they found out his phone had been destroyed. I'm gonna say it like this: there's plenty of brothers in the room. We all got girls, but let's flip the script. Let's say you think your girl's into something shady, and it takes her 3 months, or you're asking, hey, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone.
God damn it.
And it takes her 3 months. Or better yet, oh, I'm sorry, baby, I destroyed my phone. Are you gonna have trust in her? You may still even kick it with her because she may be fine, whatever. But are you gonna have trust in her? Of course you won't. Clearly, Tom Brady was guilty of something.
Right.
And he knew he was gonna get busted. That's why he had his phone destroyed. I'm done with it like you. He's guilty. He needs to face his punishment. And at this point, he's been so used to being the top dog in the league, the man. It's arrogance that's making him fight this. Kind of like A-Rod was fighting the steroid allegations and the biometrics that he eventually caved into. It's the same thing, dude. You did it. They got you.
Right.
And Robert Kraft, now you're butthurt and mad at Goodell. Well, you know what? He ain't just the commissioner for y'all. He's the commissioner of the whole league.
Right.
It's bigger than you, dude. Oh, he's been making decisions you liked all this time, but now he makes one you don't like, and you want to kick him to the curb. Whatever. He did it. He should have got more than 4 games.
Wow.
Personally. I mean, he's been and I ain't even mentioned Spygate and all of that.
Oh no, that's yeah.
It's too much. It's always the Patriots looking for ways. But more than anything, look at the way Bill Belichick is acting. He ain't saying shit.
No,
he's like, hey,
he's staying free.
Robert Kraft already spoke on it. Tom Brady spoke on it. I'm just getting my team ready for opening day.
Right.
No one's coming to Brady's defense, and no one should. That's what I have to say about it, Jack B.
See? What you think, man?
I agree. Nobody's coming to his defense because they know he's guilty. Man, look, they sat in a room with Tom Brady. They didn't even ask him to hand over his phone. They said, just show us what we need to see as far as you talking to personnel regarding these deflated footballs. That's all they asked that man to do. He couldn't produce that. Nothing. So you know he's guilty. Man, if you've been accused of something and you're innocent,
Right.
you sing it to the hills.
You gonna
To anybody that will listen.
exactly.
And anybody that won't listen, you're going to make them listen if you're innocent. Him, this all shucks attitude, oh, man, I don't know what's going on. Man, that's bullshit.
I destroyed my phone
Tired
every
of
3
Tom
months.
Brady getting away with stuff.
Right.
He's not the NFL. He's just a player in the league who happens to have won 4 Super Bowls You know, he's a great player. I mean, he's a
Just happens
winner.
to be good.
I mean, he's good. Let's not get it twisted. He can play.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
But I'm tired of him getting away with stuff, man, that, you know, that no other player's going to be able to get away with. Just like Reed said with the owner, Robert Kraft, yeah, you have dinner with Goodell, but Goodell's the commissioner of the league. He's not the commissioner of the Patriots. So whatever he decides to do is for the betterment of the league. He's got to protect the brand,
Right.
not the Patriots.
Yes, sir.
I gotta say, you know what I'm saying. I have to. I do agree with y'all as far as to go ahead and just show the phone. But I am a Tom Brady fan. I'm a presidential Patriots fan. I feel like that. You know, we talking about a couple of decimal points here. You know what I'm saying, when we talking about air pressure. You know what I mean? So where I am disappointed at in my quarterback is, you know, come out, just say, hey, man, because you get to choose how aired up you want your balls. You get to choose how flat you want them. You know what I'm saying? So just come out and just, hey, because like what are you lying? What are you lying for? Like we're not. All you have to do is say, hey, you know what? In these conditions, I like my balls at the lower level. Come on, guys. Come on, we're all grown men here. They're all laughing at me because of my word of.
Your balls are not as aired up, high speed. Is that what you're saying?
Yo, all I'm saying is,
Hey, that's your prerogative, dude.
you know what I'm saying? I like my footballs to the lowest level in these particular conditions. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta say. If I violated something, my bad. It's not like they're gonna take that win away. And even if they take that win away, they're not gonna take that Super Bowl ring away. Why
Here's
are
what I'll
we
say.
lying?
Here's what I'll say. Back when it first came out, the allegations, Troy Aikman, Hall of Famer, and Steve Young, Hall of Famer, immediately said there's no way Tom Brady did not know those balls were deflated. Case closed. That's all I got to say. Case closed. Steve Young, Troy Aikman, case closed.
So in other words, from what I'm getting from you guys here on the panel, is that 4-game suspension is what that is.
Should have
What it
been
is.
two.
That's what it is.
I agree with it.
Should have been two. It should
Now,
have been.
I will say this, though, y'all. When you look at the totality of his offense to get 4 games versus
Don't go
Greg
there.
Hardy,
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
you got it's it's apples and oranges, but still, them oranges are way more than them apples, man.
Yeah, you're right.
When you get accused of beating a woman and you got 4 games and this man deflated some footballs below regulation and he got the same punishment.
But see, he sat out all last year too.
Yeah, he did. Now we agree there, but I'm just saying
Sat
as
out
far as
all
the way
last
it
year
looks, the
and then
appearance,
4 more. So
the appearance of how that
he will
looks.
have, Greg Hardy will have missed 20 games
Because to
when it's all said.
an
and done.
average person reading the sports page in the newspaper and they see suspended NFL players, it says Tom Brady 4 games, deflated footballs. Greg Hardy 4 games, domestic violence.
No, I
I
get
mean,
that.
they're gonna look at
I
that
get
like, what
that.
the hell? You know?
A hefty fine. Give him. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a hefty enough fine to give Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, well, fine, it's still. You know what I'm saying?
$300,000 is like
just
you or I
to-
paying $100 or $300.
Just to give just to making a little example out of him for the next quarterback to think that they can flatten some balls and you know what I'm saying, and be reckless with it. Give him 300,000. Give him 300,000, 400,000.
I mean, 4 games is enough. I mean, what do you think his game checks are?
No games. I can only
How much do you think Tom Brady makes a game?
Sig,
He just said he's a
you're talking
Patriot
to a
fan.
Patriot fan.
Yeah, you're
Sig.
talking to a Patriot
So
fan.
you're
Okay,
not-
but you got to be a realist now. If you're gonna be on the Lost Show, you got to be a realist now.
I'm a realist.
You
I'm
can't
a
be
realist.
biased now
I'm not.
because 4
late
games,
for that.
he's losing some money.
I mean, yeah.
Tom Brady's losing some big money.
He is. But, you know, in 4 games versus that win and loss, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be those 4 games to keep him out the playoffs.
No doubt about it. You know, they could end up 9-7, 10-6,
So,
fighting for somebody for that tiebreaker spot to get in the playoffs. So it's crucial.
okay.
He won't come back until after the Cowboy game.
Well, 4 games, hey man, that's 4 weeks he get to stay home with his fine wife.
You ain't lying. Shout out to
Right, like he's
Giselle.
right.
All right,
Damn,
well,
you got to sit on the couch with her ass.
I think he'll be okay.
Poor Tom Brady. Oh my God, poor Tom Brady.
No, man. I again, all kidding aside, the cheating part to me, just in anything or any sports, I can't co-sign for that. So again, the the 4-game suspension, whatever penalty they gave him. Obviously, they feel like it was deserving. Now this thing has been moved to court. I don't know how much is going to change in between now and then. Me personally, I think he's going to get those 4 games. I think he's going to lose.
He will. He'll get the 4 games.
They done moved it over to from New York. They moved the thing over to New York. Then they from Minnesota.
Yeah,
to New
from
York,
Minnesota
something
to
like
New York. And did you hear what the judge said about the whole
that.
situation?
What did he say?
Oh man, he said, man, why y'all in New York bothering me with this?
He told them to work it out. He said, "Look, y'all need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Don't bring this to me until you got it figured
Why
out."
y'all? I got people getting shot out here. I got people doing this. I got
Right.
people doing that. Why y'all in my court talking about some flat footballs?
And I agree with him. It's childish almost, but the problem is Brady just needs to suck it up and accept it. Stop appealing. He just thinks I'm Tom Brady. I'm gonna get out of this. If I keep appealing to a higher authority, I'll get out of this. Just accept it, dude. No one's. I'm not even saying, hey, admit that you did it.
Right.
Just accept it and shut the hell up.
What was the what was the punishment that they got for Spygate? Wasn't that like a couple million?
They got $1 million fine.
The team did.
And lost,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lost like
Some
a first round
draft
draft
pick,
pick, I
I
think.
think.
Okay, well, give them I say around the same punishment would have been okay.
But no, you don't punish the team for Brady's actions though.
yeah, you're right.
Because
You know,
Belichick and all of them are like,
these
no,
guys,
yeah,
because
that's
like
what
these
I'm
guys,
saying.
are-
You're
like
right.
these guys are saying, he knew,
He knew.
you know, something.
He
You know,
knew.
I'm not gonna say what he did or what he didn't know, but he knew something.
And you know what, guys? I'm gonna say that yeah, he did say that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that why you know what I'm saying? It could have been an accident. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the ball boy.
It could have
you know
been.
what I'm
It
saying?
could have
And-
been.
and
Come
so-
out and say that.
Come out and say
and
that.
that's my thing. Come out and say
But
it.
that's where the phone ties in because there's apparently the ball boys will come out and say, look, Brady would text me every week and say, hey, air these balls up to whatever degree. That's why.
Reed, you hit it.
When
we
they
know,
first
we know
said
damn
it-
well that happened.
when they
Yeah,
first
that
said
happened.
it, when the ball boys first said it, Patriots fired them. NFL talked to the ball boys. They reiterated the same thing. That's why they wanted Brady's phone.
So let me
And
ask
out
you,
of nowhere, it just all of a sudden gets destroyed.
let me ask you this, Reed, because nowadays we got super smartphones. Sometimes the phone is smarter than the person. You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't we just check the ball boy's phone because it's gonna show like the whole history?
I'm kind of with you there. Like,
They may have it.
surely there's records that you can.
Yeah.
There may be
destroyed.
some legalities where the NFL hasn't released
they
that.
got it.
Now, rest assured, if Brady takes this to court,
It'll
Oh,
come
it's
out.
they're going to
come out.
subpoena his
Everybody's-
records from the destroyed phone. They can find that.
Everybody dirty lines
Anytime
gonna
you
come
hit
out.
send,
Right.
it's there.
Yeah.
You can destroy this phone right now. Everything I got on here that I hit send on, they can find it.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Shout out to the cloud.
They can find it.
But yeah, man. But you know, like I said, man, I 2 games at the most, man. I don't think 4 games. That's a little harsh. 2 games at the most.
That's a Pax fan, guys.
I'm just tired of Brady getting away with shit.
I'm-
Tuck
I'm-
rule,
I'm
Spygate.
Right.
Now this, like, I'm
Always
tired of it.
something.
I'm tired of
he
it.
played-
Something minor that leads to something big.
Tired of it.
He
dude.
always gets away with
He
it.
tired
played,
of
he
it.
played the Cowboys in week 4, so he can sit out for him out.
Right. You come back week 5.
I'm not really
We'll
worried
be
about
fine.
it. Hey man, hey, let's shift over a little bit. Let's come back over to a team in the NFC East. Teams that we're very familiar with. Obviously, your Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and Redskins. Let's talk Eagles. My boy Chip Kelly.
Racist. I'm sorry, y'all.
This dude,
Turn my mic off on this one.
makes another big splash trade and trades Brandon Boykins to the Steelers for a 5th round pick. And this is a starter, man. He trades for a 5th round pick. And some interesting things, some interesting comments that was made also with this. Now, apparently, when this went down, Boykins and Coach Kelly obviously supposedly had a decent conversation. They even gave each other high five, gave each other hugs and all that kind of stuff, and wished each other, the best. Boykins obviously wished the Eagles the best in their season, and Coach Kelly wished Boykins the best in his career with the Steelers. After this takes place, Boykins gets on Twitter and airs out some more laundry and kind of basically relates to what Shady was saying.
Shady McCoy.
Shady McCoy, basically saying that Chip Kelly has an issue with how he relates to his players. Now, I know how I can take that, but I'm gonna ask you guys, man, what do you guys really see going on with Chip Kelly and the quality of players? Now, I don't know. I guess since he came in, he obviously there's probably a certain type of character of players that he wants to surround himself with. I mean, I really don't know. I think a lot of guys are getting a bad rap, i.e. Deshaun Jackson. You don't get let go Jeremy Maclin. Hey man, you don't let go two of those guys in the last 2 seasons, and then these drastic moves he's making. Shady McCoy. Now, granted, you was able to land DeMarco Murray, but DeMarco Murray wasn't in your plans. DeMarco Murray reached out to your ass because he was pissed with the Cowboys. He reached out to you, but you wasn't. DeMarco Murray wasn't in your plans, but you were fortunate enough to land a DeMarco Murray. But my point is, hey man, what's really going on with Chip Kelly? See,
This is as real as I can be. The fellas don't want to play for him because they don't think he can relate to brothers. I mean, let's just say it. Call it what it is.
Call it what it
now,
is.
he ain't only just letting go of brothers. I'm going to give you some names of veterans that were starters for the Eagles that he just let go. And you start with Boykins. Then you got LaShawn McCoy, Evan Mathis, Todd Hermans, Trent Cole, Nick Foles, James Casey, Kerry Williams. All these guys were big starters for the Eagles, man, who he let go. I mean,
Foles been gone, dog.
Foles has been gone, but these are guys, that he let go.
Right.
That's what it is, because Brandon Boykins, honestly, is probably the second best slot cover corner in the league, behind Chris Harris from the Broncos. Mm-hmm. He's right there, top 3 in the league as far as your slot cover guys. And to let him go for a 5th round pick, now it can get as high as a 4th rounder depending on Boykins' playing time, and it probably will be because he's gonna play. Right. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin's gonna play him, and if you say you can't play for Chip Kelly, based on what I just said as far as being a brother, well, you're going to Mike Tomlin. So I don't want to hear no more excuses because you're going to play for a brother.
Oh, that is real.
One of the realest brothers in the league.
Yeah.
One of the most respected brother coaches in the NFL. Mike Tomlin, Super Bowl champion.
I was just finna say he is
So if you
Super Bowl
can't play
winner.
for him, see, Brandon Boykins pisses me off because what Jack just said, if he had a closed-door meeting and him and Chip Kelly said they were okay, and then you get on Twitter and go back on this man, and then say this, I don't like that. Tell him to his face as a man. Don't get on Twitter. Everybody can be some big hero on Twitter and Facebook. You look like Tiny Lister when you give in the comments, but your ass really is like Prince. That's what I hate, man. If you have an issue with a man, address it with that man. Don't get on Twitter and all of a sudden you got a problem with the man. See, that's what I don't like, man. And that's my issue with Brandon Boykins.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
When you heard the trade, what did you instantly think?
It's just more head-scratching decisions from Chip Kelly. I mean, Deshaun Jackson, just to me, since Randy Moss retired, Deshaun Jackson just might be the best deep threat in the NFL. To me personally. Maybe you would disagree. I don't know. You let go of Jeremy Maclin, who has had no off-the-field issues at all. Shady McCoy, other than Adrian Peterson, to me was the best running back in the league. Yeah. And look at where Chip Kelly came from. He came from Oregon. Like, they still run the same system. The Oregon team with Marcus Mariota this past season lost to Ohio State in the championship. They're running Chip Kelly's system. Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy, they were perfect for that system. To this day, I don't understand why he let them go. Now, we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. We'll see what happens when the season starts. And then you trade for Sam Bradford's perpetually hurt ass. Like, he's the Sean Lee. He was the Sean Lee of the St. Louis Rams. Sam Bradford was. Always hurt. It was just a matter of when. When is he going to get hurt? We know he's going to get hurt. When is he going to get hurt? And you traded for that dude? Like, really? I won't call him racist because
Yeah, that's a
as y'all call me the Malcolm Farrakhan of the group. So
not Malcolm Farrakhan, bro.
no, that's what they call me. You know,
Yeah,
Even in college.
yeah.
That's what we call
I,
it.
got, I gotta.
they've called me the Malcolm
If
Farrakhan
we
of the group.
if we get stopped by the cops, he got the hush.
Right. I'm that dude. I you know,
He don't
we was
say
15, 16. I'm that dude. Like, you doing this
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this
yeah.
and that.
We can't let him talk.
So
I feel like I don't. I'm with you. I don't think he's racist, but I am with Sig. I do believe that it's hard for him to get with the maybe the culture. Maybe I'm thinking the type of, because hey, if you come in to practice and you in the locker room, and let's say like Shady McCoy, is the maybe the the locker room leader. And Chip Kelly walk in, I'm sorry, Chip Kelly walk into to like something like Waka Flocka Flame.
Right.
Hey
Right.
man, I don't want this in my dang on locker room. What you mean? Oh, let do it. What the heck is he even saying? Hey, as a matter of fact, get off my team. You know what I mean? He probably can't get with the culture. I don't say that it's just a racist. Maybe he can't get with the type of
it's definitely a cultural thing.
characteristics.
Deshaun Jackson swore up and down, look, I'm not in no gang. Did he grow up? Did he grow up in an area where there were dudes in gangs? Did he know or was cool with dudes in gangs? Yes. That don't mean you're in a gang. And as we know, sitting in this room, a lot of times, if you got the potential to do something athletically, the gangs are kind of like just leave you alone. Just
Yeah. Cause
don't disrespect us. Remember where you came from, but do
Yeah.
your thing, dog. We're gonna take care of
They're
you.
gonna look out for you.
So, and I'm sure Deshaun Jackson was in that mode.
Right.
Chip Kelly, he obviously can't relate. Yeah. And I'm very interested to see how the Eagles look this year. Very. Not just because they're in the Cowboys division, but because of the head scratching decisions he's made.
I think a lot of people is waiting to see that too, Reed. And I think Chip is going. It's not coming out right now, but I think Chip is going to be under a lot of scrutiny for some of the decisions
deservedly
made.
so.
If those decisions don't pan out, obviously we have to see if it pans out.
Yeah, we gotta give him time.
Because obviously when you're winning, people forget about everything. Yeah. When you lose, they'll find a million things to throw at you. So obviously, man, we're gonna see how the Eagles start out. I think the Cowboys see them week 2. Am I correct?
I think so.
I think Cowboys see them week 2, and it's gonna be interesting to see if some of those decisions, like you said, those head scratching decisions that he made.
I mean,
if
Nick
they really-
Foles?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey man.
I'm not a big Nick Foles fan, but give me him over Sam Bradford.
All
Right.
day.
All day, every day.
Man, at one
Oh,
point, Nick
dang.
Foles had 27 touchdowns and 2
Yeah,
interceptions.
2 interceptions, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
And you let him go?
And again, going back to your head scratching
he's
part,
younger.
going back to your head scratching part, Reed. Also, we have to keep in mind as well too. This guy also brought in 3 other quarterbacks, so I don't know if he's got Sanchez over there behind playing number 2. He done brought in Tim Tebow, and they saying
Thank
Tim
you,
Tebow
bro.
gonna play. So
Right.
I mean, again, man, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I don't know what Chip Kelly. I think ultimately all along he really did thought he was. I think he was gonna find a way to get Marcus. I really do think he was gonna try to do that, even when he was making the moves and trades with Sam.
There's
Bradford.
no doubt. There's no doubt.
I do think he was trying to get.
That's his baby. He recruited him,
He was
so-
trying to get him.
Yeah, he was.
But again, man, I'm not gonna wish any luck on the Eagles because they're in our division.
Right.
As a Cowboy fan, I could care less. But as a sports guy, and we have to talk about it. So with us, we're gonna wait and see how that pans out and see how the Eagles do on that. Hey man, let's move on though, because I know we're getting short on time. Our hour will be sucking up pretty quick. Let's stay in the NFL a little bit. Let's talk. I love talking about payday. Man, let's go to your boy Russell Wilson. And I know the past few shows we've been mentioning Russell Wilson and whether or not he was going to get his contract done or whether or not what kind of money he was going to be making, what kind of category he was going to be once he puts his money out there. And Reed, you had some very harsh kind of words a few weeks back on Russell. And I think it was back when we were talking about the Cam Newton and his new deal. We mentioned Russell, but it's finally done now. Seattle gives this man a 4-year deal, $87.6 million contract, $31 million signing bonus, $60 million guaranteed. Woo.
Ooh wee.
Hey, it's crickets in here. Hey man, hey man, this guy, keep in mind, back in 2012 when this guy was drafted, this guy was, it was 74 guys picked ahead of this dude.
Third round pick.
This dude, it was 74 guys picked ahead of this guy. 3 years later, this guy's the second highest paid quarterback in the league, sitting at about $21.9 million a year. Now, just a shade under Aaron Rodgers at $22 million a year. Hey man, that's a hell of a deposit.
That is.
I guess, Reed, and I know you chomping at the bitch, Reed, because you and Russell y'all cool like that. But anyways, when you heard that, when you saw that, Reed, because you text me some interesting comments as well, and it was valid. What was your take on that, Reed?
I'm gonna read the text that I sent. 2 years from now, at the latest, Seattle will regret giving Wilson that deal. Dude can play, but he's not the type to carry a squad. He's not Brady or Rodgers or Luck or Breeze. Even Tony Romo's passing numbers shit on Russell Wilson's.
Elaborate that, Reed.
To elaborate, he's a reason the Seattle Seahawks are good, but he's not
The reason.
the reason the Seattle Seahawks are good.
Right.
Now they re-signed Bobby Wagner
We get
today.
We get to that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Between him, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, obviously, that solidifies your defense. That's first and foremost why Seattle is good. Because they're usually holding opponents under 20 points a game.
The defense.
Lord,
The defense.
is good.
The defense is that good.
Damn good.
Then you got Marshawn Lynch,
Beast mode.
beast mode. He's reason number 2 that you're that good. He's the reason Seattle lost the most recent Super Bowl, because you should have handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, which leads to my reason on Russell Wilson. Like, dude, you threw the biggest, dumbest interception in Super Bowl history.
History, bro.
History. So everybody wants to say, oh, you're clutch, you're this, you're that. Well, what happened when he threw the interception? Was that clutch? What's up with that? Russell Wilson can ball. Don't get me wrong. He can play.
So let me ask you this, Reed. So are we at least mentioning Russell Wilson with the Breeze, with the Andrew Luck, with the Rodgers, with the Brady? Are we at least mentioning
He's a second tier quarterback. He's in that Matthew Ryan,
Really?
Matthew Stafford. Jack, put Russell Wilson on their teams. Put Russell Wilson on. I'm gonna say it like I said months ago. Put Cam Newton on Seattle, and they're gonna do exactly what they've been doing.
You know what? I got
Put Cam Newton on that team. Russell Wilson, he can play. You have to be able to play to be where you are, but it's not because of him. Put Cam Newton on Seattle,
I see you.
and they would still be as good as they are right now. Just in my
See,
opinion.
what you think when you saw the ESPN ticker at the bottom of that, and you saw the 87.6 million, 31 signing bonus, and a 60 guaranteed. Russell Wilson with a new 4-year extension.
I'm happy the brother got his money because it's a business.
Yeah, make your money.
I mean, I can't hate him on that because, in 2012, he was a third-round pick, made average money as a quarterback. Now, people forget that same year, Seattle had just signed Flynn to big money
Matt Flynn.
to be the starter. Well, training camp starts. Russell Wilson balls out. Now Flynn's expendable because we're going to start this rookie because he's a better player than you, Flynn. Well, he's been underpaid, which it's obvious he's been underpaid, for a guy that's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Like Reed said, he's just a cog in the wheel. He's not the sole reason Seattle's in the Super Bowl and winning. So I think that the quarterback position there's always They get too much praise when you win, and they get too much blame when they lose.
Right.
There has to be a middle ground with them, because football people in this room, there's 6 or 7 of us in here right now. We know damn well you win in football with defense. 13-10 victories by Seattle, 9-3, 16-7. Those are defensive games.
Right.
Those aren't Russell Wilson battles where he threw for 300 yards with 3
Right.
touchdowns.
Good point. Good point.
See, those kind of games, that's why you need to keep that defense intact. Like Cam Chancellor's pissed off because he ain't got his money.
Right. Right.
And, dude, he's probably one of the top 2 safeties in the league.
Easy.
And if he's not the top, it's because his teammate is, Earl Thomas.
Right.
yeah.
So to piss that guy off, I mean, that's crazy to me, man. Seattle needs to make sure that defense is shored up. I'm glad Russell got his money, but I think they gave him too much. I just honestly think $60 million guaranteed for that type of player, that's way too much money for him, man. I thought even when Tony Romo got his deal, he got too much. But
Reed
you
said,
know, it's a quarterback heavy league, and quarterbacks, that's where the money's at.
Reed said second tier player. You agree?
I have to agree. He's not in that top class of quarterbacks.
No.
He's not. No.
I'm not sure Romo is a top tier quarterback.
I would pick
Wilson
Romo ahead
definitely
of
is.
Wilson.
Oh yeah, hell
But
yeah.
I mean, I put him. You know, what is there? 32 teams.
Yeah. About that.
I put him top 15, maybe.
Oh, you got to. Come
15?
On. Come on. And that's what I'm saying. You know, it's not like he's a bad player. I mean, he still has a Super Bowl. You know, he still. I think it's more of the dynamics. You know, like you said, I don't think it's just a Russell Wilson type of thing, but I do like that Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, Marshawn Lynch, and then that defense. That's like a nice little diamond right there. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do to protect that, you know. So I don't think that it's all just off the skill. And another thing is that's a man of God that we talking about. That boy will throw up his Christianity. He not banging down Sierra.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
he's lying. He's lying about that. First of all.
I mean, who's to say? But
There's no way
you know,
Sierra's gonna be laying in front of you and you ain't just. No, I gotta be married to you first, baby. I know you're sitting there naked and fine, and I'm watching your ride it video, and I'm not gonna touch it. He's lying about that.
But why even put that out there?
But
Who
and that's
cares?
Because he's, you know why? Because he's fake. He's a
And
fake dude.
I agree.
That's
He's
what
a fake ass dude. He's trying to appease all these other people. Dude, if you hit it, hit it. Shit. God damn it. Post Facebook videos of you behind the motherfucker. I don't care. Do what you do.
my thing
He's fake with it. Oh, well, no, I'm not going to touch this gorgeous young lady who's a sexual creature that every man would long to have.
That's my thing, Reed.
Like, dude,
that's
you're full of shit.
That's
You're
the
full of
only
shit.
reason why I probably wouldn't have gave him that much. Other than that, you know, with the whole dynamics thing, I say let him make his money. But that's the only thing. What kind of off the field drama are you bringing? You bringing this girl, you bringing another rapper's baby into it. You know everybody is going to say something about that. Why don't you keep that at the house?
He's trying to be Derek Jeter, and he's open about that. But Derek Jeter is notorious. Derek Jeter ran through all of them and would send the bitches gift bags afterwards.
You know,
Like, okay, the limo's going to take you home. I hit it. I'm gone. Here's your gift bag. That was Derek Jeter. That was Derek. He's trying to be Derek Jeter, but he wants to be a little more godly with it. But don't be fake with it. dude.
The off the field issues is very big to me. But other than that, get your money, bro. I'm happy you got your money. Shout out
Make
Pete
that money.
Carroll.
When
you know.
NFL, make that money, dude.
But
I don't
the
begrudge him that.
off the field issues is big to me.
Sig, did you want to say something?
No, I'm good on the Russell Wilson issue. I'm happy he got his money once again. But, you know, his personal life is his personal life. You know, don't try to be somebody you're not. Just be Russell.
Just be Russell.
You got your $60 million guaranteed, so now you can actually be Russell and tell him to kiss your ass.
You
So-
with Sierra, and you not gonna hit that?
Hey, man. He
It's 7-8 dudes in the room,
It-
and I'm sure y'all all attached. Like,
hey, man. Hey, man.
I don't like to comment on
What the
somebody
hell?
else's woman,
What the hell?
but I will say this, and this is my opinion, with him signing this new contract, he may want to stay away from that.
my wife.
Now
is
that he's
listening,
got this
and
new
she
money.
knows- my wife has seen Sierra. She be like, "Yeah, God damn it, he's hitting that."
Man, I don't know.
If I was anywhere near that,
What
I
up,
was anywhere
Jack?
near that. Like, oh yeah.
He
yeah.
said he's
You-
not, and I'm gonna say, man.
Do you
Sierra?
think that's a good man
Sierra.
upstairs telling them not to
Sierra.
do that?
Hey man, that's what he say. I'm gonna go with it. I don't know.
Even the Lord is like,
There-
nah,
there's
you
people out
tripping.
there like that.
The
man.
Lord's like, dude, you tripping,
know.
dude. You tripping, homeboy.
Man,
You tripping.
Hey, it's
Like
it's-
I put it right there in front of you.
Put it right there.
I put it right there. You better do something,
like
homeboy.
like the story he trying to get out the little flood. I done sent you a plane. I done sent you
right.
the yeah, man.
Right. Ice-T story.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
Hey man, well anyway, needless to say, man, more power to Russell. Again, I'm with Sig. His personal life is his personal life. I'm not bringing that into to the football part of it. It is what it is.
Would you wait till marriage?
Who?
Would you wait till marriage with Sierra?
With Sierra.
Me personally?
You personally?
He told me about the Ride It video. He was like, have you seen this video? I remember like 5 years ago, he was like, hey man, you gotta see this video,
Well,
dog.
hey man, I'm Jackie Bridges. I'm
Right.
just, I'm an ordinary Joe. Hell no, I'm not gonna wait. She just like Future said, she didn't wait that long with me. I mean, hey, again, man, we gonna keep it sports related, man. What Russell do on his private times is private time, but hey, all commands to the boy for getting paid because he damn sure got paid. And kudos to his, like Stig mentioned, kudos to his partner, his teammate, Bobby Wagner as well. Man, he got a 4-year deal, $43 million. He became the highest paid middle linebacker in the league, and whether you guys
He deserves
understand
it.
or
He
not.
deserves it.
He's
He's good.
he number 54 put that hat on you.
Yes, sir.
He will put that hat on you. So all kudos to Seattle in that regards as well. Hey man, I'm gonna jump real quickly over to before I go into the female talk about the sports. Let's go Cowboy Nation real quick. Training camp has begun. Cowboys left for Oxnard Wednesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. They've been practicing a couple days. I know this was the second day in pads. I do know that. This was the second day in full pads. And we're gonna, we can always talk about our linemen and linebackers and DBs and needs and all that kind of stuff. But I like to keep it with the running backs because again, that was one of the biggest topics that we talked about prior to this offseason because everybody was hoping the AP was going to come, blah, 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 blah. So I really do want to keep it focused a little bit on the running backs in training camp. Now, McFadden starts out on the PUP list, guys. Now, obviously, we knew him coming in here. He was injury prone. I mean, he's been with the Raiders the last 7, 8 years. He's constantly been injured, but apparently he tweaks a hamstring or something like that here in workouts when they was, I guess doing their OTAs or whenever he was doing his private stuff or whatever. I'm not sure when he did it, but apparently he tweaked something. But whatever it was bad enough to where they went into camp and he instantly was put on PUP. Sig, were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised, Jack, because this hamstring issue is the same thing he had with the Raiders. He's a guy that gets nicked up, and the Cowboys are trying to take precautions to make sure that week 1 of the regular season he's 100% or as close to it as possible. So we don't want to overwork him because McFadden he's a brittle man. He's a brittle dude. He looks good, solid 215 pounds, but for whatever reason, man, he tweaks something, he strains something, he tears something every other year. That's his MO. So the Cowboys are just trying to take precautions, man, to get him ready. I mean, if the Super Bowl was played today and the Cowboys were in it, he would play. But they're just trying to take precautions to get him ready. That's what they're doing right now. Week 1, he'll be ready to play.
Right.
Reed, what you think of when you you shaking your head? So what did you think when you heard that, Reed?
It's unfortunate that you come into camp banged up. Like, really, dude? Like, come on, bro. He knows, as Sig said, he knows that his rep is that he's injury prone. And you come into camp dinged up. Like, dude, I mean, we all know as we all know as Cowboy fans, the only question, we got a good squad now that we've re-signed Dez. Everything else is in place. The question mark is our running game. Darren McFadden is a huge, huge part of that. Now, in a way, he's kind of just like DeMarco Murray because this time last year, we were all like, well, Murray's injury prone anyway. Who knows what he'll do? So I'm not ruling out McFadden having a good season. He ain't going to rush for 1,800 yards.
Right.
But he could still have a good season. Between him and Randall, we may even get 2,000 yards rushing. Who knows?
And that was gonna be my next question. Do you think he starts by week 1?
Who?
McFadden.
They want. I think they
No,
want him
Jo-
to. I think they
Joseph
want him
Randall
to.
will be a starter.
You think Joseph gonna be there?
Joseph Randall, and again, they're not still. Now they're talking some Ray Rice possibility coming in. They're talking big about Chris Johnson possibly coming in. So that tells me that they're
not sold on him.
They're not
Right.
sold.
Right.
They're not sold on their running back situation. Period. And then now McFadden goes down. So I mean, it's something. It's probably a need to address. Again, we all know coming into this season what Randall's issue was. It was a trust issue, man. We know
It's
the
off,
dude.
off the field.
We know the
he can
dude.
ball.
We
He
know
can
the
ball,
dude
but
can
it's
ball.
off the field. Right.
I mean,
right.
there's just no question about whether or not he can produce and whether he can ball. Right. And the question is the trust issue. Now Jerry said some very strong words about him the other day, and I took that to heart. He said something to the fact of Randall looks like he's a different guy. He's out there busting his ass, and he's playing like he wants to start. You know what I'm saying? He's practicing like
And maybe
he
he's
wants to start.
matured. I mean, we all
And,
mature at some point. Maybe he has.
So, with that being said, I just don't know how the Cowboys, how that running back situation is going to end up. Obviously, there's a lot of time in training camp. We got a lot of preseason games to be played. We got guys trying to make the team. So it's a lot of things that's going to be taking place. I actually like Randall over McFadden. The name itself, McFadden obviously wins.
Right.
But I actually like the player and what Randall actually. I'm interested to see what he can do. Some of those runs that he made last year. Now, obviously, DeMarco Murray wore down a lot of defenses for him.
Right.
For him to come in and make some of the plays that he made last year. But I think, even with that being said, I think that's just Joseph Randall. I think he can play like that all the time. Me personally, and I would like to see him on first down, starting game. Just seeing what he got. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys do with the running back situation, man. It's obviously not sold up yet. They still talking to backs, still talking to veteran backs, good ones at that.
Right.
That can produce and possibly come in here and be a starter week 1. As you mentioned. So
Real quick, can we go around the panel? You know what I'm saying? Who would we like to see starting as the running back? You know what I'm saying? All of us decide.
with guys that's on their roster right now.
Yeah, right now.
With me, I mentioned it just a minute ago. I like to see Joseph Randall.
See,
I'm gonna go with McFadden.
McFadden,
Yeah, for now.
Reed.
I'll say McFadden because of Randall's. I'm even willing to let go of what he's done in the past. Hey, you're a new man, but his size,
Right.
like
Right.
for a running back, I don't know that he's built to take the punishment. And,
Ooh, that's a good.
McFadden
Well,
is
he-
injury prone
He
also.
obviously ain't built for it either.
Right, but he's But I have to agree with just right now. I would be comfortable starting with McFadden. But having said that, let's say there's 30 carries in the game. Let's give McFadden 15 to 18, and then give the rest to Randall. That's kind of how I would do it.
Right. I go Randall, man. But I do like Joseph Randall. He actually came through the stool one time, and I was like, oh, this is Joseph Randall? You know what I'm saying?
Was he a
probably,
little dude?
yeah, look about the same size as me. And I
And
was
a
like, well,
running
dang,
back,
gang-
right? And a
gang-
running
He's
back.
Give me a little hope.
barely over 200 pounds,
gotta
so
be-
he's
yeah,
not as big as you would
And
think.
for you audience people that's listening to this, Joseph Randall is not the same size as Ice B.
It's not the same.
Just, just for the record, he's
What you trying to say? Ice Beast? Whoa, what you
he's
trying to
not-
say?
He's not the same size. as Ice B.
but nah, man. I definitely would like to see Randall, man. I like. to see
I'm with you
Randall.
on that. So 2 and 2. I mean, and that's fine. And again, we go obviously this is our Cowboys. We all Cowboy fans here, especially on this panel. So we know we're gonna talk some Cowboys every week. See what you want to add on that?
Just to finish up on that, man, back to DeMarco Murray, we got spoiled, y'all, as Cowboy fans.
Yeah, we did.
Because like Reed said, last year at this time, we were saying the same thing about DeMarco Murray that we're saying about Darren McFadden, the injury prone. Okay, this man goes out and rushes for 1,800 yards, is the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, All-Pro, first team All NFL, Pro Bowl. We got spoiled. See, now everything that we have now, because he's not on the team, so we expect every other running back to do what DeMarco Murray did. We could have a platoon in the backfield with depth. Like you said, split the carries up and still get production. It may not be just from one guy, but use all three guys and get the same production. That puts you where you want to be. Because we're not going to get 1,800 yards from Randall or McFadden.
Not from one
It's
guy.
not going to happen.
Not from one guy.
Murray balled out, and he played games where he had a broke hand, a tweaked
I wasn't
hamstring.
expecting that. I wasn't
He was trying to get his money. Murray
Contract
was not
year.
coming off the field. Right, he was a free agent next year.
Contract year.
He was trying to get his money, and he got it. So I commend him for that, but we're spoiled, man. We're not going to get another 1,800-yard back. Those days are
I wasn't expecting
long
that anyways.
gone.
I don't know where
Right.
it came from, but I was not with the backs that we have in camp
Right,
right now. That's, Heck no.
I
So,
knew it. He was on my fantasy football team. I knew it.
Who was?
Murray.
Oh, okay, well, yeah.
You wound up with Murray.
Nah, I picked Murray, baby. That's just my bad,
Hey,
y'all.
I'm
My
pretty
bad,
sure
too.
Murray done you some justice then, because he balled out. for
Had
real.
to throw that out there.
Hey, before we go, y'all, it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna wrap it up. But before we go, we didn't get a chance to get into the NBA talk, which I really wanted to, but we got room for that. Let's give the women some props. All right. And we obviously we started the show out with Ronda Rousey. She's a female, obviously, she's doing her thing. We gave her. Hey man, let's flip to some of these coaches. Now last couple of weeks we talking about Becky Hammond from the San Antonio Spurs, the female coach that took the summer league team, wound up winning the championship in summer league. She's obviously as an assistant on the San Antonio Spurs team as well. Then guys, later on in the week we get later on in the week we get Arizona Cardinal hires Jen Welter, first female coach to ever, coach in the NFL. Obviously, she was, Texas Revolution. She was here in Dallas with the Texas Revolution indoor football team as well. And now, we're coming out with the Sacramento Kings is hiring Nancy Lieberman as an assistant. Hey man, these women is on fire. And it seems like it's like a domino effect now. One person, or it took maybe one owner or organization to trust to make that call, trust within the organization to make that call. They did, and now they're starting to flop down. I think we're going to see more. I really do. I think we're going to see more. But hey, man, I got to give the women some props, man. They stepping into to the ranks. I know Nancy obviously used to coach the Legends, so she's familiar with coaching guys. So that wasn't a big deal. But still, till you actually sign those big deals like what they're signing now, that's pretty impressive, man. I gotta say, props to those females. And see, when you heard about the Arizona Cardinal, Jen Welter for that matter, when you heard about her, going to coach with the Arizona Cardinals. What was your thoughts on that, man? When you first?
My thoughts, Jack, on Dr. Jen Welter being the first female NFL coach. She coaches inside linebackers. I was ecstatic because the woman is qualified. We need to get to a point, fellas, where we don't just say female coach. We can just call her Coach Welter because that's what she is.
Exactly.
She's qualified. Let's get away from the fact that she's a different gender than ourselves. She's just a coach, and she's ready. She's highly qualified, master's degree in sports psychology, PhD in psychology. I mean, she's played the game her whole life. She's a stud.
She played
just
running,
like any man.
She played running back too.
She played running back. At 5'3",
Right, she wasn't just a
130
kicker,
pounds. No,
right.
She wasn't a kicker or a
Or
punter.
like an overweight chick.
She was a
right.
skilled
She was
position
out there.
player.
Yeah,
Right.
she played against
So
men.
period.
played
she's
running back.
talented.
Period.
Yeah.
And Nancy Lieberman, I know her personally. I used to play ball with her ex-husband Tim Klein, and she was the first female to play pro ball with men back in the day. Nancy Lieberman should have been coaching already. The woman knows basketball, and for this male-dominated society that we have, especially in professional sports, we need to get away from just saying female coach. She's a coach, period. If she's qualified, she's qualified. Just like any man, a man will get fired tomorrow and get hired a week later. The same retread. Let's give these females a shot so we can get to the point where we're comfortable just calling them coaches. Because remember, all these brothers in this room, somebody had to give us a shot as black men to play professional sports and get away from the fact that we're a black player and just call us a player.
Already.
That's real. That is real.
Already, though.
My thing about that is, and I'm all for it. I really am. But I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't know. And this incident that I'm talking about might be a little bit before my time. But you know, I'm just waiting to. And I hate to say it like this. I don't know if it's sexist or not. But I'm just waiting to see when how they gonna react when the first assault or molestation or whatever. I mean, not molestation, but a dude. A player getting at the female coach in the wrong way. They get too familiar. I'm waiting for something like that to happen. To see, right, getting too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how we react to that because it's gonna happen. It is, and it happened a couple of years ago, like when the reporters used to try to go to the locker rooms to try to get the interviews, and then it's gonna happen. It's coming, so I want to see how they react to that when it comes down.
I speak in this PC world we live in now. I guarantee you, the first player that gets out of line with a female coach, and we're still on that label of calling her a female because of it being so new.
Yeah.
If it's not a star, he will be cut tomorrow because they're not going to play that, man. They are not going to play it. These organizations are not going to play it. The Spurs, well, Becky Hammond, for one, already has the respect of the players. But like a Nancy Lieberman and Dr. Jen Welter with Arizona, playing under Bruce Arians, he ain't going to play that. He brought her in personally. He's not going to stand for it. So, man, these men better get used to it.
Get used to it.
Plus, to build on Sig's point, these women – If y'all got women that you're close to, women are smarter than men are, in my opinion. There's not a woman in the world that would get, like, especially when we're talking firsts, you're the first to do this in a male area, or you're the first to do that. They're not going to risk their position over the fact that, oh, this dude is fine. I want to get with this dude. They're not going to risk it. A woman won't do that. Now, a dude would. A dude would, for sure. To go back to Nancy Lieberman Klein, I've never met her, never knew her.
Nice woman.
Very nice woman. I've had my daughters, all three of my daughters have went to her camps. Just, she's reachable. She's, you can, kind of like Jet Terry is with the Lady Jets here in Dallas. Yeah. You can just walk up and touch him and, hey, Jet, how are you? Or, hey, Nancy, how you been? Can I get a picture? Sure, why not, She's that cool. So, like Sig said, she should have been the first anyway to get a coaching job in the NBA. Basketball, if you can play basketball and you know basketball, it crosses gender. Could Nancy Lieberman play in the NBA? No. Could Becky Hammond play in the NBA? No. But they know the game. I mean, they process the game. They can see the game. So we definitely need to get past it. We've had female refs in the league for what, at least 10 years now, more?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And after that first year, we stopped talking about it.
I think we're going to even start in the NFL, too.
And kind of to take it back to Russell Wilson, like we all know Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. No one says that Russell Wilson was the second black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And that's a good thing. He's just a quarterback. He's not a black quarterback. So
That's a good point.
Great point, Reed.
right.
Awesome point.
We need to get past a female player, a female coach. No, she's just a coach.
Well, and like Sig said too, Reed, it's because it's just happening.
It's just, it's new. It's fresh.
It's just the way you display it, so to speak.
Now the Cardinals, what I don't like is, from what I've read or heard, they temporarily hired her.
Yeah.
She's an intern.
She's an intern.
So what the hell, dude? Either she's a coach or not. Like,
She's an intern.
don't just let her go through training camp and then hire her or don't hire her. Period. Don't. It's like the Cardinals are doing this just for press.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Let's, like with Michael Sam, don't put the dude on your team because he's gay and you want to be the trend-setting team that has a gay dude. Don't accept this chick temporarily because she's a chick.
Just to bring some attention to
Just
your
to bring
organization.
attention, right. Hire her, hell, even for a year.
Right.
Sign her to a contract.
Because
Sign
right
to a
now
contract.
she's a training camp inside linebackers intern. That's what she
Right. What is that? No one else has ever.
I've never even heard of that term.
Exactly.
That position.
Exactly.
Well, again, I'm just thrilled to be able to talk about it tonight because it does show that, hey man, it is change and things are changing around here, and it's I think it's fair to the women to get that they're actually getting noticed to.
They know their shit. Let them participate.
They know their
Period.
stuff. They know their stuff, man. Man, before we get out of here, man, one quick thing. I'm gonna go back to the Cowboys real quick. Let's also keep in mind. Remember when we came to training camp, our defensive lineman Jeremy Mincy was the only one that did not show up on time. Obviously because he was holding out for contract talks.
Right.
Let's get it out in the air now that he has reported. He is in camp. He is practicing today. So that's good for the Cowboys. Now they got everybody on roster in camp, and obviously you got your injuries or whatever that may be. But shout out to Jeremy for getting his business handled and things like that because he was going about it the wrong way at first. And like Steven said, hey man, we're not going to talk your contract to you till you report.
Right.
And that's
Come-
what he
come
had to
talk
wind,
to me.
that's what he had to wind up doing, talking to him. So that actually worked out.
Because you're not all that.
But they had, I agree, the Cowboys actually threw him a bone with the extra extension on his contract.
Right.
Because he did outplay what he's making.
Yeah.
He outplayed his contract.
He led the team in sacks last
right.
year.
Right.
And
He outplayed his
it
contract.
wasn't but 6.
But still,
But
he led
when you can say you're the leader
yeah.
and you're making, veteran minimum,
Greg Hardy will get more than that,
yes.
and he won't even play the first 4 games. So
I don't know, Jay. You know what I'm saying? 6 sacks is a lot, bro. 6 sacks is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he led the team in sacks.
That's all that matters.
I mean, did Derek Thomas have
Coming
in
from
game?
the inside, that is a lot. But on the edge, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
When you're an outside edge rusher, where a lot of times you're just taking on the tackle,
Right.
them
beat
inside
one guy.
guys, they're getting
Right.
they're getting hit 2-3 times. It's a little harder to get to the quarterback from the inside, but on the outside, as a linebacker or stand up DN,
Right.
6 sacks really isn't a lot if you're considered a stud. Because Derek Thomas, he had 8 in one game.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Or Justin Houston,
He had 22 for the year.
he's an edge rusher.
Yep.
Well, again, hopefully, it works out for the Cowboys with getting Jeremy Mincy in there. They got all their guys now. They got all their players. Obviously, we're going to keep tabs. We're going to obviously revisit Cowboys training camp pretty much till they get through because we got preseason games coming up, I believe, on the 12th.
Yeah.
I think we got a preseason game
Let's
on
do
the
it.
12th. I'm not
Let's
sure
do
exactly.
it.
So we finna really get kicking and talking on some NFL. We definitely gonna talk some more boxing because we got some Mayweather talk coming up.
Who?
We're gonna see.
I'm
Here
kidding.
we
Mayweather.
go.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. But no, man, it's been a great show. We really appreciate all the support that we get through social media with our friends and our colleagues and all that kind of stuff for listening to us. You can always tune in every Sunday night to StuTheWorld.com. Tune in with us. Call in, whatever it is you want to do to chime in. We'll have some debates. If there's anything that we're talking about, any topics that we're talking about, please feel free to give us a shout and let's talk about them. Let's discuss them. Hey, Sig, want to say something before we get out of here?
Hey, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boys. I appreciate y'all listening, man, and giving your support. Rob Russ, Greg Von Arks, D. Thomas, Malcolm Harris, Kevin Clipp, Artie Roberts, Wax, B. Hugh, Mike Just, Chris Campbell. Appreciate you, brothers.
Yo.
Hey, and for people that don't know, that's all his Upper Iowa Peacocks teammates.
Shout out to
Alphabetical,
Yes, sir.
So
Conference champs,
they
baby.
always tuning in.
I want to give a shout out to nobody.
Reed, you ain't.
I'm not shouting out nobody.
Hey, man, that's Reed for you. But again, hey, thanks for tuning in, man. We always having fun as usual. We got, our boy here. I didn't get a chance to holler at him tonight, but our boy Rick back there in the background been peeping us out all night. Thanks for stopping through, Rick. Hope we can get you on the mic, man, and get you in here.
Good
Tune
old-
in with us one Sunday.
Good old Corn. What's up,
And,
man?
And get
Cold
it going,
shoulder.
man. But no, hey, much love to them Upper Iowa Peacocks out there, man.
Already.
And
You?
as always, guys, about this time, it's time to get what?
Lost.